In late March of this year, a massive explosion took place within the city of Akure, located in the southwestern portion of the African country of Nigeria. The explosion was so intense that it split in half the road leading into the city, while inflicting serious damage to dozens of homes and churches in the vicinity. The governor of Nigeria's Ondo state, where the explosion took place, labeled the incident as an accident caused by a fire on a transport truck that was carrying explosives to a storage facility in a neighboring state. That was their hastily arranged explanation for the bizarre and controversial incident that took place on the morning of March 28th. The governor went as far as to say that the transport vehicle was probably buried below the massive blast site, and that it may still contain explosive material. The governing body of Ondo State almost succeeded in convincing suspicious residents of the city of Akure that the massive explosion was just an accident. That was until such time as experts in the field of geophysics and earthquake engineering examined the blast site. It was at this time that the story of what had happened began to change in a rather dramatic fashion. The expert examiners, professors of geophysics from a nearby university's earthquake and space weather laboratory, indicated that the explosion was not the result of an accident. Rather, it was caused by a giant rock from space, actually a large fragment of a nearby asteroid. According to the investigation of the blast site and using preliminary calculations, the experts concluded that a large rock had impacted the location, hitting the Earth at an angle of 43 degrees. In essence, it was a natural phenomenon, not an accident. Their preliminary findings were in line with an actual eyewitness account that took place at around 12:45 a.m. local time on the morning of March 28th, where a nearby resident cited a huge flying object traveling at tremendous speed above them. Within a few seconds, an explosion was heard in the distance as buildings began shaking. The expert examiners further elaborated on the investigation of the blast site in a manner that was contradictory to the explanation of explosive detonation given by the governing authorities. According to the experts, there was no evidence of a buried vehicle or buried explosives from the site. Upon further examination, a number of foreign rocks and strange metallic objects were discovered within the crater, which begs the question of whether there was the presence of asteroid or meteor fragments. A research group carried out a detailed analysis of the impact site. They established that the impact crater was circular, with a diameter of nearly 69 feet and with a depth of more than 25 feet. This would suggest a natural phenomenon. The group also discovered that there was water oozing from the edges of the impact site, but there was no evidence of a fire or any burning or radioactive materials. The impact of the blast covered a 1 kilometer, 3,280 foot radius of the crater surroundings. Therefore, their conclusion is that a large meteor from the asteroid belt, traveling at a great speed, impacted the location at an angle of 43 degrees, which created an ejecta-blast zone that caused roofs to collapse and walls to give way to numerous structures. The meteor impact event in Akure is reminiscent of the Chelyabinsk mid-air explosion that took place in February of 2013, an extraordinary event that released 30 times more energy than the Hiroshima bomb, while damaging more than 7,000 buildings. The visualization in the aftermath of what is being labeled as a natural phenomenon in Nigeria reminds us of the urgent need to keep a careful eye on the sky, especially in a time when near-Earth space objects are increasing exponentially.